Getting out of the traffic pattern and going on a real trip is a lot of fun. It may even be the reason you're learning to fly in the first place. But the same reasons these trips are so much fun, new places to see, a goal at the end of the flight, can lead to challenges if you aren't prepared. Here are 6 rules to keep in mind when you're flying VFR cross countries. They may not be big formal regulations, but they're good habits that can keep you safe and comfortable on that big trip. Lesson 1. When it comes to weather, wait for a sure thing. If you've been waiting on the clouds to lift or for the visibility to improve, don't take off until you think there's a very good chance of success. There's a tendency, especially if you're behind schedule, to blast off as soon as the weather report shows VFR. That can be risky, especially if conditions are changing rapidly. Be honest with yourself. You may not turn around if you encounter marginal conditions after takeoff. Try to be patient and wait until the trend is clearly in your favor. Lesson 2. Know what kind of air mass you're flying in. We've talked a lot about weather in this course, but one of the key questions is to ask whether the air mass you're flying in is unstable or stable, especially in the summer. An unstable air mass can turn a good VFR day into one with widespread thunderstorms as the day heats up. A stable air mass may lead to hazy skies, but will probably be convection-free. When in doubt, remember the old advice that in the summer, it's best to finish flying by noon. Lesson 3. Always have an out. This cliche is often used with weather, and that's very true, but it's equally applicable to fuel planning. If changing weather conditions mean you can't make your destination, have a good plan B in mind. It's not enough to know the airport has fuel either. Check ahead of time to make sure the FBO will be open when you might land. A little homework will really pay off. Lesson 4. Slow down. No matter how well you plan the flight, something will inevitably go wrong. When that happens, and especially if you're frustrated by it, force yourself to slow down and double-check your last few steps. Think of it as creating a mental circuit breaker. Accidents have happened because a pilot rushed and made a critical mistake when he was out of rhythm. Lesson 5. Understand the terrain. If you're crossing a mountain range or even just flying over some foothills, consider the effect such terrain can have on your flight. You certainly want to plan a safe altitude above the rocks, but it's not just about avoiding a collision. Terrain and weather also interact in all kinds of ways. What's true in the plains does not necessarily hold true in the hills, especially for clouds and turbulence. Also, be careful not to extrapolate too much between distant airports when the terrain is different. Lesson 6. Use technology wisely. Recent advances in technology have made cross-country flying easier and safer, and you should use these tools without hesitation. For example, it's one thing to hope the weather is better over that next ridge. It's another to know for a fact that the terrain drops 500 feet in 5 miles, and all the rain is behind you because you see it on a multifunction display. Likewise, making fuel calculations is a whole lot easier when you can get an accurate winds aloft forecast from your phone. Just remember 2 important cautions. First, be proficient with the technology so it doesn't become a distraction. Second, make sure all those gadgets are helpful tools and not crutches. You should still be able to make the flight with basic stick and rudder skills, and perhaps some good old-fashioned pilotage if needed. Whether you're flying 1,000 miles to attend a big air show, or just heading to the lake for a family vacation, cross-country flying should be near the top of your aviation to-do list. With a little preparation and some good discipline, it can be a fun and efficient way to get around.